There we go. So if you hold it like that with your fingers, that's now live. We're now live. So if you follow it round, don't jump.
Good morning, CHICHESTER Lakeside. Hi-de-hi.
Hey, well done.
As promised, we are live on YouTube, so please type into YouTube Katie Miller, and you can now follow us live on the illegal selling of holiday homes that you can live in. CHICHESTER Lakeside has sold many, many homes throughout the UK where you can live in the homes, which is an illegal move to do. Upon doing this, they give you a ground rent years of about 30 months. Some of the caravans are 20 years, and 30 years. Once all these pitches are filled up, it's quite obvious that Park Holidays would be made redundant, because 30 years on a pitch is a very long time. What then happens next? Good morning. What then happens next is they need to make your pitches redundant so they can resell and get more commission. Follow YouTube and look for Katie Miller on YouTube to find the real stories on CHICHESTER Lakeside and Park Holidays as a group. Would you like a leaflet, sir?
I've emailed you.
Oh, lovely. We have got many people now joining us from other areas and other parks throughout the UK. And also we have other groups now joining us from other areas and other parks throughout the UK. Before purchasing a holiday home, it's best to do some ground checks first. The checks you will need to do are quite simple. Employ a solicitor before you go ahead and hand your funds over to any holiday park home group. 30-year licence is a very long time. And as you're probably fully aware, like I've said earlier just now, there's nothing for them to sell or do once all of these pitches are full. So please do not be fooled into rushing into buying a holiday home until you've been in touch with a solicitor. It's also very important to know that 3 times now, Chichester Park Holidays have called the police on 999 to try and complain about our protesting, and apparently they're in danger themselves and they're intimidated. I find this very amusing. I was asked by the police officers not to mention names. Now, if I mention your name, it's because you've done something wrong. If you would like to take civil action against me, you do have my full address.
I'll just let the chap go with his works van. As you probably are aware, certain lady in there, blonde hair, beginning with an E, ending with a Lane, decided to call the police. The fact that I've made their life hell, etc, etc. The police have been called 3 times now on a 999. Each time it is a civil protest. It is not a criminal matter. If it was a criminal matter, I would obviously be arrested. 11,000 people have all got claims against Park Holidays. Yes, we're always at CHICHESTER Lakeside because I only live down the road. We are coming to Coghurst Hall. We are coming to the directors' places in Everington. And we're also coming to your main offices. I am slowly being funded by other Facebook people to take time off of work to now come to other parks, which obviously I will do, but I do not need and do not want your money. I am doing this because of the legal activities.
Okay, so just so you're aware, the lady beginning with E, good morning to the GM there, I just saw you. Good morning, sir. Would you like to pop out and have a word with us at all this morning? No, pretty quiet again, obviously. If you would like to come out and have a chat with me, because you have until midday today to respond to a solicitor's letter sent to Joanna Ford, who is acting on behalf of Chichester Lakeside. As you may or may not be aware, the Data Protection Act is a very serious act. If you break the Data Protection Act, I am liable for some compensation. At 12 o'clock today is your deadline for your solicitor to respond upon the breaking of the Data Protection Act, which either yourself, E, being the sales manager, or J, being the so-called GM of the park, you have broken. You may not be aware that you have broken these laws, because you do tend to break many of the laws, but you do have till 12 o'clock today. I would also like to point out that the government have said about wearing masks inside properties. At the moment the GM is not wearing a mask, he's walking round, the doors are open, but this is classed as a shop. It is not a restaurant or a pub. So upon breaking the rules of the mask side of it for the virus, you're on film. This will go straight to EHO when I finish today, and hopefully they will pick it up with you. The GM is responsible for the park and how it runs. He should lead by example and wear the mask, as millions of us now are. So getting back to the sales team, I'm very happy to report your sales have been declined over the last few weeks. I'm very happy to report that all your caravans are still up for sale. You don't seem to be doing a very good job since we're highlighting all the issues of illegal selling. Obviously you never come out because you can't or you won't, but more importantly, the sales team, will you have a job by the end of this year if you're not selling and hitting targets? Why don't you try and sell and do it legitimately? Explain to people the real rules, explain about the ground rent and the increases, and then explain to the fact that when we have filled the pitches, we will need to empty the pitches. The certain GM that's on this certain place at the moment of Chichester Lakeside, you've been bullying some of the owners that are trying to sell. They have messaged me over the last 3 days from last week mentioning your tactics and what's been going on. Please do take this as a severe warning. I will name and shame the GM and the sales team if you start and carry on bullying the existing homeowners that are just trying to sell and get themselves out of a terrible position living on this park. Please do take this seriously. Please talk to Joanna Ford, who is your legal solicitor for the group. Do not keep wasting police time on 999. Your lives are not at threat. We are merely stating facts on how the park runs, which is not illegal. So please bear this in mind.
Okay, we've had a lot of messages over the last week about people that are trying to sell their holiday homes, and basically it's being bullied by a certain GM on this park, aggressively too, to the extent where this lady's in her 70s, and when I had a meeting with her, she was actually in tears and shaking. So I would like to point out that this is on YouTube. The YouTube channel is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but to the extent where people are crying in their 70s and being bullied is and will not be accepted. I am prepared to up my campaign, which means if I have to, by breaking the law, as they so call it, I will name and shame them. And more importantly, I will follow them around the park, because these things have to stop. We also have other parks now talking to us wanting to protest. It would seem we've started something really good, because obviously, spanning around, guys, the parks are not selling. These parks in particular used to sell their plots left, right and centre about 10-15 years ago, but it's slowly stopping and really slowing down. The virus itself has created a problem with ground rent. and certain people on certain sites aren't getting refunded on their ground rent, as per the government has said would happen. One particular site I noticed on Twitter, there were some famous people from TV who owned lodges or caravans on a particular site down the road called Bun Leisure, and basically they're disgusted with the American company. Now please reassure, I'm not just going after the horrible sales teams, I'm going after the shareholders and I'm going after the directors. And when I mean going after, my plan is, yes, you only see a couple of us here at the moment, but we're going to have a group of about 50 plus, which are going to be marching to your bigger premises, and more importantly, when the time is right, we will be going to Downing Street and making this all official. At the moment, you've managed to block the newspapers listening and talking to me, because your wallet is bigger than mine, but that's of no issue to me, because I'm in the process of talking to other people which will bring this out a lot better than the papers that you're dealing with, especially £9.50 holiday makers. What we're going to do is press pause for a minute, because I think people are checking out, and I'll come back. There's the Jonathan GM, which is what there's his name.
Hi guys, I do notice there are no masks being worn inside there. It's a very hot day. The sales chap there with the white shirt with his tag on, there he goes walking past. Good morning sir, where's your mask please? Could you explain why you're not wearing your mask to protect people and the public? Because you have people from all over the world coming. You have people from Leicester that have come that have been on a shutdown, but you don't seem to be wearing your masks to protect your holiday makers and homeowners.
Good morning. Yeah, so I don't know if you caught that and span round then, but basically the sales chap with the shirt, black hair, gave us a little wave. He thinks it's very clever, but the virus is a very important thing, and the laws have stated the shop that I own in Chichester, all of my staff wear them. They have to wear them, but there again, Lakeside don't think they do. Even if there's a get-out clause which says they don't have to wear them, it would be respectful for the 49,000 plus of people that have died if they were to wear them, bearing in mind that people are travelling throughout the whole of the world and the UK to come for breaks here. Not to buy homes, but just to come for breaks. And if you look on TripAdvisor, you'll see that they're complaining already about the state of the park and the attitude of some of the park. That's on TripAdvisor now. So we'll press pause for a little bit and we'll get back to you. Can't see from there.